What's up, everybody? And today we're checking out Meet Korea's new fighter jet, the KF-21. I say new, this video is like a year old. It's by Found and Explained. They've done some really good videos. I think we've reacted to like one or two of their videos in the past, and they're genuinely really good videos. So yeah, let's enjoy it. Let's learn some stuff. I haven't done anything really on Korea, South Korea and their equipment, so I'm very excited to learn more about their military. Before we get started though, obviously if you want to watch this video without me waffling over it, you can do in the description. I tell you every time, it's in the description. It's like at the very top of the description. If you want to watch it without me waffling over the top, you can certainly go and do that. And then you don't get them boomers in the comments that are like, he talks too much. Oh, when's he gonna shut up? Listen, this is what I do. This is the whole point of the channel, is we watch videos and we enjoy them together. And we have a laugh, and it's fun, and we learn, and we grow as a body of people. Do you know what I mean? Oh, he's talking too much. Who's that guy in the corner? Who's talking? All right, listen here, Boomer. Firstly, subscribe, because we're nearly at 500,000, and you can watch me get drunk on stream off Mead. But secondly, in the description, you'll find the video, all right? Which reminds me, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe. We are so close to 500,000. What are we at right now? As of recording this, we are at 491,982. So when this goes live, we're probably going to be at 492,000. And it's going quick. It's going very quick. Yesterday alone, we got 286 subscribers. And I'm getting an average of 6.2 thousand in the last 28 days, which means we're probably going to get to 500,000 if we're lucky. If we're lucky. We're probably going to get to 500,000 by the end of April if people subscribe, which means what we're going to do is we're going to have a party on stream. I'm going to drink that bottle of mead right there on stream. We're going to play some games, and it's going to get crazy. So if you've not already, please subscribe. Anyway, let's shut up. Let's pull this up and let's learn some stuff together, shall we?
This video is brought to you by Squarespace.
Oh, we love a bit of Squarespace.
On the 19th of July 2022, the brand new KF-21 Boromir stealth fighter or fighting hawk took to the skies from Sachon Air Base near Busan.
I'm just gonna
that train
give my little thoughts on it. It kind of looks like the F-22, doesn't it, in a way?
Many experts are wondering if the KF-21 will be a game changer for the future of the military aviation market.
Let's get a good look at it again.
Expensive flex for the Korean defense industry. This joint project of South Korea and Indonesia has been plagued with issues throughout the years.
It kind of looks like an F-22, doesn't it? Don't you think? The intakes at the front here and the shape of it, it kind of looks like an F-22. Maybe not as like angular in a way. It's kind of like a mix of an F-22 and an F-A-18, isn't it? That's kind of what it looks like, doesn't it? Would you agree?
And many doubted its purpose or its feasibility. But the successful development of the T-50 and subsequent FA-50 combat variant, KAI, or Korean Aerospace Industry, proved that they're quite capable of developing a supersonic jet. Now with a breakthrough into the European market, with Poland acquiring 48 of the jet, the future looks...
Poland have acquired some? That's really interesting, considering that's closer to Europe. Very interesting. You would think that Koreans' aircraft would probably be bought more by local countries, right? But for them to come to Europe and sell some as well, that's very interesting. I mean, it must be a good bit of kit, you know? This is the thing. The industry right now is definitely dominant by the F-30. What F-30? What am I talking about? F-35. And so it feels like it's really difficult for another jet to really kind of... One second. I'm just going to Google it real quick. KF-21 and see if they've been sold anywhere else. Ooh, let's have a look. Obviously, South Korea and Indonesia. I'm just trying to see if any other countries have them. Because obviously this is a year old. Primary user, Korea, Air Force. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything online saying that they've been sold anywhere yet. So I'd take the whole Poland thing as a maybe. I mean, this video is only a year old, so it is still pretty fresh. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything online about where it's been sold. Let me just do another quick Google. They said on the 2nd of February 2024 that South Korea has started to mass produce the KF-21 fighter. But again, I'm not... US allegedly pilfered sensitive KF-21 data to bolster F-35 sales. Interesting. South Korea shows off new fighter jet at its arms sales surge. Interesting. I'm not seeing like where it's been sold. It's just saying that it's still kind of being shown off. South Korea's newly developed fighter made its debut at defense exhibition where the nation showcased its high-tech military hardware that has been much in demand since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Let's have a look. The plane is also known as the Borame, is seen as a more affordable alternative to the F-35 Lightning II. Interesting. South Korea also plans to display 8 other aircraft. I'm not seeing anything about any other countries that have officially bought it, and that article was from October, just gone. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this. Oh, and apparently Indonesia pulled out of the KF-21, and this was February 2nd this year. Oh, wow. Okay. So just bear that in mind. That's a new update for this. Will Iraq buy the KF-21? So maybe they're in an attempt to... Who's buying the KF-21? UAE reportedly seeking role in South Korea's program. Malaysia, would they buy I'm not seeing anything by anyone. It's very unlikely the US will allow any significant exports, and the South Korean Air Force is too small to absorb sufficient numbers. Yeah. This is an interesting one, isn't it? Politically around the world with the selling of aircraft. It's a very interesting one.
Looks bright for the Korean defense industry and terrifying for South Korea's enemies. Now, the story of the KF-21, or better say the KF-X, starts way back in early 2000s, 2002 to be exact, but it wasn't until one huge event that it really kicked it off with a bang.
So it's relatively new.
North and South Korea were at the brink of war, with artillery fire being exchanged over the 38th parallel, and the Korean government realized it needed a new jet yesterday. It pushed forward with the development of the KF-X program and now determined to acquire some serious...
It looks so much like an F-22. It really does. Like, if you put that in front of me before I started learning so much about planes with you guys, I would have been like, oh yeah, it's the F-22. It's very interesting.
Firepower for a conflict that had been looming in the air for almost 50 years. Several variants were proposed for this new Korean jet. The C-103, a two-engine jet resembling a F-35, or the C-203, which resembled a Eurofighter or the future Chinese J-20. There was also the C-501, which was the least complex version with a single engine.
Interesting.
In the end, the C-103 design family was chosen because single-engine jets couldn't fulfill the requirements set by the government, and the C-203 design family was abandoned because a deal fell through with potential European partners. If they weren't going to exchange technology, then there was no chance that they were going to develop themselves.
So they wanted technology from the Eurofighter. That's interesting. It's interesting. This whole thing is interesting because it means that not only are South Korea trying to work with Europe, but Europe are closing door and saying, no, we don't want to share this technology, which is also another very interesting aspect to look at the relationship between these two countries.
Remember, speed is of the essence. From here, the development of the C-103 family changed throughout the years. Notice how the design morphed more and more from an F-35 to the F-22 Raptor.
Yeah.
And the final, the C-109, which was approved for the prototype phase, bears a striking resemblance to the F-22.
It really does.
The nickname, the Korean Raptor.
I like that, the Korean Raptor. I like that name for it. I think that's kind of cool in a way.
But there are also some other features about this jet that really do make it a game changer. Looking for a website for a business, project, or even an aviation?
We'll skip the ad real quick, guys, okay?
The KF-21 is powered by two GE F414 engines, a further development of the engines that were used for the Super Hornet. And as it's using so much of the existing templates from...
Let's just pause it and look at these images real quick. The bubble of the cockpit reminds me of the F-18. That's why I was saying it. Oh, my head's in the way on the thing. The bubble of the cockpit reminds me of an F-18. That's why I was saying it looks like the mix between an F-18 and an F-22. But everything else about the jet looks like an F-22. But it's just that bubble and the kind of like the nose area kind of looks like an F-18 in a way. Do you get that same resemblance there? But yeah, it's like the F-18 and the F-22 had a little baby.
American jets, it actually has roughly the same dimensions as an F-35. And that's exactly the point. The design is very similar to the F-22 and F-35 because they partnered with Lockheed for this development. Lockheed transferred a lot of technologies for the KF-21, apart from some key components like radar, IRST, target pods, and RF jammers, which the Koreans were pushed to develop themselves.
It makes me wonder how much of... Because obviously the US has these aircraft, but they're made by private companies, right? It makes me wonder what contracts they are under to not disclose some technology for obvious reasons. That's an interesting video we should look at, shouldn't we?
Which they actually did with flying colors. But it's at this point that the project actually steps away from the F-22 and F-35 design philosophy. The weird thing is about the KF-21 is the fact that there is no internal weapons bay, which begs some questions about if it's really that stealthy. Instead, the armament is located on a total number of 10 hardpoints, with 3 on each wing and 4 under the belly.
Wait. The whole point of the visual design of the F-22 and the F-35 is for stealth. We know that. We've gone over videos like that plenty in the past. So what did they do? Why have they not got an internal... That makes no sense. That makes no sense to me at all.
There are talks that there might be an internal weapons bay in the production in the future, but that's something we'll have to see.
That makes no sense.
With the current configuration, stealth performance of the KF-21 is questionable and definitely doesn't put in the same category as other 5th gen jets. So it's more than likely that this is a 4++ gen aircraft compared to the Eurofighter, but with a lower radar cross-section. However, this isn't exactly the issue because from the start, the Koreans were actually going for this and called it a 4.5 gen jet, and here's why. Indonesia. You see, Indonesia is actually a partner to this project and wants to buy...
I just found out online that they're not a partner to it anymore.
At least 50 of these aircraft as an alternative to buying from Russia. Indonesia had been a buyer of Russian aircraft like the Su-27 SKM and the Su-30, and only recently switched under pressure from the US towards Western weaponry. This also meant that they cancelled the deal with the Russians to buy new Su-35s and bought 42 of the French Rafales instead.
Interesting.
With the war in Ukraine still raging, many nations who were trying to buy Russian jets traditionally inclined towards more neutral suppliers.
It's interesting how much that war has affected the world, isn't it? It's crazy to think about it.
They didn't exactly want to cozy up to America, but they had no choice to abandon Russia. This is how the French sales grew exponentially recently, and why the KF-21 Korean jet might just be the perfect aircraft product for the market.
Yeah.
With its price tag probably lower than the US or European counterparts, the KF-21...
Why would it be lower though? Because if it's partnered with Lockheed Martin and it's very similar to the F-22, surely it's an expensive aircraft. The F-22 is like crazy pricey. Like surely it's I don't understand that.
It might become the ideal jet for many countries looking to replace their aging Cold War era fleets. And I bet the Koreans are counting on this too. The Block 1 jets will be focused on the air-to-air combat with limited air-to-ground capability, and the second run, Block 2, will have a full multi-role capability, with a further development that's a little bit more stealthy.
Interesting.
The KF-21 is also planned to have a large variety of weaponry available, both American and European of course, which is a little bit of a political problem.
Which, by the way, I've been wanting to do a video on weaponry on these aircraft for quite some time. So if you've got recommendations, let me know in the comment section, okay?
You see, the idea that the customers should have the option to go full French with the weapons, German or even Israeli, with the jets themselves being from Korea, is a little bit of a sticking point. This would mean less sales for the big old USA, and we're going to have to see how they react to this growing competition between their allies.
Yeah.
Lockheed may have helped make the jet, but now they've cut off supplies to their fellow American weapon manufacturers. There have already been conflicts with the French so far with the sales of submarines to my native Australia, and rumours of troubles within the Greek Navy purchases, with America flexing its muscle.
Interesting.
But despite everything, this is a big step in the world of aviation, and I'm happy that we're going to have yet another sleek and stealthy aircraft to admire in the near future. And I think this is a very...
I mean, it's a good looking aircraft, but that looks like the F-22 right there, doesn't it? Let's be honest. Look at it.
Very interesting topic for the discussion, so feel free to share your opinions in the comments below, and I'll try to hop in and answer as many as I can.
Great video, as always, by Found and Explained. Definitely go over to the description down below if you want to watch some of their videos. They're really, really good. It's an interesting video. It's an interesting aircraft that I didn't know much about, to be honest with you. And I'm a bit confused about the whole thing, if I'm honest with you. Lockheed Martin gave away some intel to do it, but it's still a relatively cheap aircraft. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'd love to know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're so close, guys. Let's do it. Let's have a party. All right? Until next time, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.